Hello everyone, greetings for the day. Hope you all are doing great. Yesterday, I have discussed some steps to build confidence in trading. Today, in continuation to that, I will show you how to get confidence in trading by sticking to some rules and guidelines. Time frame. This is highly dependent on the individual. What time frames are you most comfortable trading? This is highly dependent on the individual, but there are loose guidelines worth considering. Popular time frames such as the 4-hour and daily time frame offer traders ample opportunity without all the noise that comes with shorter term day trading time frames such as the 5 and 15-minute chart. Not that there is anything wrong with day trading, but keep in mind it is far more mentally taxing and time consuming. A majority of people a majority of people have a day job which puts a restraint on how much time can be spent in front of the screen. The 4-hour and day time frame is very effective in this regard, and even professional traders tend to gravitate toward these slower time frames. These are not only good on time but also slow down in the market action, which allow you to better process information. Anytime you can slow down the process, you will naturally feel more confident about what you are doing. It's also a good idea to stick with a limited number of time frames as it keeps your analysis simplified. Looking at multiple time frame for opportunities, it is highly effective way to identify larger theme which you can trade on short term time frame, but it's still a good idea to keep it limited. For example, you might identify a trend developing on the daily chart, but don't want to hold a position for days to weeks. So in this case, you could dial in on the 4-hour chart to find short term trading opportunities and know what market you want to focus on. Focusing on finding the best opportunities in the narrow universe of market will give you more confidence when it comes times to act. Not every market moves the same. So, knowing the nuances of how a market trades will help you act more decisively. So, by reducing the number of market in focus, you will also help reduce the number of positions you hold at once. Too many positions can be daunting tasks to handle mentally, even for the experienced traders. So, in time frame, you must remember this is highly dependent, and popular time frame are like 4-hour, and a daily time frame offers for 5 minutes to 15 minutes to 1 hour. And in the day trading, you have to keep in mind that it is far more mentally taxing than time consuming, and you can stick with a limited number of time frame as it is for analysis will simplify. Next, understanding your tolerance for risk. Risk management and understanding tolerance for risk, having a game plan for how you handle risks is a more important than the analysis itself. You should have a game plan for handling the risk. You can't trade properly if you don't know what your tolerance for risk is and have a plan for managing it. The amount of risk a person can tolerate is highly dependent on the individual. When a trader exceeds their risk tolerance, they lose objectivity and become far more prone to making mistakes. Have a good understanding of the risks impacting the entire account. How much capital to trade with varies from person to person and their personal financial situation. Know what you are comfortable losing first. Accepting the worst possible outcome beforehand will help you keep your head in the game when faced with adversity. This will help put your mind at the easy and allow for focus to be placed on a making good decisions. How much you will risk on each trade is a must know. When deciding this, you have to assume there will be time when you will have a string of losing trades or a drawdown. If you have a 5, 6, 7 or more losing trades in a row, can you accept the accumulation of losses? Accepting the worst possible outcome beforehand will help you keep your head in the game when faced with adversity. Next, risk reward. It's not whether you are right or wrong, but how much money you make when you are right and how much you lose when you are wrong. You should seek out opportunities which have a good risk reward ratio. A good rule of thumb is to look for trade where you can profit twice as much if you are right than you will lose if wrong. Right off the bat, by striving for good risks reward opportunities, you reduce the percentage of that time you need to be right. For example, excluding transaction costs, a trader who achieve a risk reward ratio of 2 is to 1 only needs to be right 34% of that time to achieve break even. Whereas with a trader using a low risk reward ratio of say 1 is to 1 has to be right of 50% of the time just to achieve break even. By seeking out more fruitful opportunities on a risk adjusted basis, you alleviate the pressure of the being right. Here is a good question to ask yourself prior to entering any trade setup. Next, ask yourself, can I accept the loss on this trade if it doesn't work? Or will I be upset with myself for losing on a trade I should have never been involved with in the first place? If you can confidently answer yes, then it is a likely you are taking a trade which fits within your game plan. And you will be surprised by how many bad trades you will avoid by asking yourself that simple question. It's worth noting that at this time that a good trade can be unprofitable while a bad trade can be profitable. So it's all depend on your trading skills and your confidence. Remember, this is a probabilities game, and over time, you are a far more likely to be successful if you take only good trades and reduce the number of bad trades. Next, how many positions at a time? How many positions can you carry at a one time without it impacting your judgment? As already discussed in the previous section, limiting the number of positions will keep you focused. When carrying multiple positions, it is important to know your total risk if all your positions were to reach their stop loss. You might be willing to take on a one level of risk per trade, but realize with several positions the risk is more than you are willing to accept. By understanding how the markets you trade are correlated is very helpful. For example, if you are a long or a short 3 yen crosses, you effectively have a one larger position. The position size for each then needs to be adjusted according to reflect this. Focus on the process, not the result. Easier said than done, right? The topic discussed in this guide are all about the process of trading and having a game plan in place which give you the confidence to act decisively. One of the hardest aspects of trading is to not thinking about the outcome but the losses and profits. It takes patience, but over time, with the pointed efforts, you can build the discipline to only focus on the aspects of trading which led to the results, win or lose. Next, use a checklist prior to entering a trade. One method to help with the staying focused on the trading process is to use a checklist. What should to include in your checklist? What is my logic for entering the trade and does it fit within my trading plan? Where will I place my stop and target? Does it allow for a good risk reward? Am I willing to accept a loss on this trade and the risk associated with us? Is this a trade I would take 10 out of 10 times? So, you need to be able to answer yes to these questions. As we said in the last section, good trades can be losers while bad trades can be winners. So, the success of a trade should not be solely defined by what is in the profit and loss column. Next, trading journal. Keeping a journal is also a helpful way to stay focused on the process. It's an effective way for identifying what you are doing well. So, you do more of those things, and what you are not doing well, so you do less of those things. You don't need to make an entry every day, but at least be consistent in how often you journal. Consistency, we have already mentioned how important consistency is, but it's worth mentioning it again. Inconsistency in your process will lead to inconsistent result. Basically, consistency is important for the trading, which helps for the confidence and focus on the trading. If you are not consistent with the types of the trade you take, how you enter and exit, position size, then you will find your result. It will have a high level of variance, ultimately diminishing your confidence level. Next, drawdowns. Drawdowns are a natural and unavoidable part of things. Having a plan for handling both the good and bad times by handling a drawdown. These are a natural and unavoidable part of trading. As a trader, your job is to make sure a normal drawdown doesn't become a damaging one. It is the damaging drawdown where not only does a trader lose significant trading capital but also a mental capital, that is confidence. Next, dealing with losers. Dealing with losses. The faster you recognize you are not trading well or that your style of trading is not conducive for the current market environment, the quicker you can limit the damage. Get out of the fire. The first step is to stop the losses and take a break from trading, even if it is not on, even if it is for only a few days. And don't worry, the market will be there when you come back. By stepping away, you are almost certain to feel better immediately. Once you have a head time to clear your head, start figuring out why you were performing poorly. Were you making a lot of silly mistakes by breaking your rules? Are market conditions not conducive to your trading style? It oftentimes is a little of both. For example, some traders perform best during times when the market is trending strongly. But if the market is range bound, they conversely struggle. Knowing this gives the trader a course of action or inaction. As we all know, it is a probability game. So, not trading is a trade, it's trading in a taking on risk for capital preservation until market conditions become more favorable. It could even be a situation outside of trading which is affecting your ability to make good decisions. You want to try and get to the bottom of that so you don't compound your problems. Once you have identified the cause of your drawdown and take a proper course of action to fix the problem, you can return to the market with a healthy mindset. You should do so gradually by trading with smaller size until you restore your confidence back to a level where you can properly execute normal size traders again. Handling period of success. How a trader handles the good times can be just as important as how the trader handles the drawdown. When you are doing well, you are prone to becoming overconfident and sloping in your efforts. So, keeping this in mind, if you do not humble yourself, at some point the market will do it for you. If you are doing well, ask yourself, am I performing well because I am trading well? Or or only because the market environment is highly favorable? Profitability result can mask mistakes. Staying focused on the process can help you, keeping you of the correct course for a longer period of time and delay the inevitable drawdown. This is where the before mentioned ideas of journaling and the using a checklist comes handy. Your journal will reveal what you have done well and not so well. The checklist will help you stay on the course to making good trades and avoiding bad trades. Conclusion. Trading is not any easy business, but if you create a plan covering the most important aspects and have a certain measures in place for various circumstances which arrive as a part of trading, you will significantly increase your level of confidence and ultimately this will increase the odds of achieving success and enjoying markets. So, friends, that's all for the day. Hope you enjoy a lot. Thank you for watching. Bye bye. Take care.